Hey YouTube, welcome back. It's episode Womp. Okay, let's take that from the top. What's up, Crew Tube? Welcome back to Captain's Coffers. I'm your host, Captain Inc., and today we're going to be talking about habits. This is your mind over matter episode. So last time we spoke a lot about your mindset and how your mindset is going to lay the foundation for everything that we're going to discuss. That is 100% true. It is the most important thing to understand before we get into any of our other concepts. So if you haven't watched that episode yet, go back, watch episode 1, and then come back. Hit us up here in episode 2 so you can learn a little bit more about how habits are going to help you completely. Let's go! Let's start off with, what is a habit? Simple question with a simple answer. A habit is something that you've done so many times, it's become second nature. Most of your habits nowadays you don't even realize you do. Things as simple as, when you tie your shoes, do you start with the right one or the left one? If you have to think about it, it's probably whatever you're dominant in. If you're right-handed, it's your right foot. If you're left-handed, it's your left foot. When you brush your teeth, do you hold your toothbrush with your right hand or your left hand? Why do we do this? Because the body and the human is programmed to do whatever action is going to give them the gratification that they're looking for as quickly as possible. So your body realizes that the first thing it wants to do is tie the right shoe versus the left shoe. The body realizes that if it's got to scrub 200 times, it's going to move faster in your dominant hand than in your offhand. And that's what habits are, at the bare core of what they are. Now, what are some of the habits that you want? The habits you want are going to be things that are going to help you to develop yourself financially, develop yourself educationally, develop yourself as far as an employer, an employee, as a freelancer. You need to constantly develop yourself. Every day is another day for you to take a step forward and progress and do something to better who you are, your craft, and allow you to increase financial potential freedom. That's what we're getting at, so stick with me because in a few episodes, we're really going to be hammering it out. We're almost there. So, why do habits fail? Well, the habits I've just described are the habits that have been ingrained in us since we are children. Year after year, since we are literally knee-high and up, we've been doing the same thing over and over again. So that is in us. It's not going to change unless we are physically really trying hard. But what about these other habits, these new habits? Like I said, last week we discussed how people come home from work. What do? They lay down, they relax, they turn on Netflix, they turn on HBO, watch the new Game of Thrones. I know they have another season, it's not 8 years out now, but hey, that's what people do. Why? Because it's common, which is great if you like being stuck in the rat race, if you like being stuck on the wheel. But we don't want to be there. We want the freedom. We want the financial freedom, which means we need to constantly improve. I'm not saying you need to be a driving force, a machine to do everything nonstop, working and only trying to build finances. You drive yourself insane. But if you normally have 4 hours a day to chill out, and instead you take 1 hour a day to improve yourself, that's 1 hour a day more than most people are doing. You're gonna be an hour better per day than everybody else out there. How do we really hammer into you good habits? Well, how are they formed? Most people look at something to conquer and they go from the outside in and they try to form habits doing this. So again, going back to last week's example, we talked about the gentleman who's 200 pounds trying to get down to 150. This is a goal-oriented individual, and these habits are the ones that fail. And it's because by having a goal and orienting everything towards the end goal, you put yourself into a position where those minor steps along the way to get to that goal, none of it matters. So when you're 195 pounds, it doesn't matter. 190 pounds, it doesn't matter. 185 pounds, it doesn't matter. 180 pounds, doesn't matter. 170 pounds, it doesn't matter. You could have literally lost 30 pounds on your path to getting down to 150 pounds. You're feeling great, you're looking great, everything is so much better. Your body's better, your mindset's better, you're moving in the best direction, but you're still not happy. Why? Because you're goal-oriented at the 150 pounds. And since you can't be happy until you get to that end result, it kills everything else. Now, how do we change this so that we can keep an end goal in mind but still maintain our happiness along the way, so we don't stop, so we don't allow our habits to break, so we don't quit because things have gotten hard and we haven't seen the end result. We become process oriented. So the idea is, instead of being like, I need to be 150 pounds, so I'm gonna do everything today. The next ring in is the process. How do we do it? How do we become that? Well, we know. You gotta eat right, you gotta exercise, you gotta maintain everything. So who is the person that does that? And that's where the habit is built, at the core, the very center. When you find the core of whatever it is you are trying to build, you can build a real habit. So the core is, who is the person to be at that weight? What do they do to get at that weight? And if you focus on who they are and what they do, who they're going to be is a 150-pound person. You fall in love with your process will fall in love with you. It has been written into every standard, every form of excellence. You follow the standard, it's gonna happen. The standard is the standard. The process is the process. You follow the process will fall in love with you. Boom, you will hit your goal and then continue through your goal. There are a lot of habits that we're gonna be talking about throughout the entirety of the Captain's Coffers. What I wanna talk to you about real quick is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Now, this is a theory that was set forth, and basically what it says is we have a little bit of a pyramid here. Now, as humans, these are our basic needs. What the theory states is that we as humans cannot satisfy the needs on top until we satisfy the needs on the bottom. And that's the way everything works. Your foundation has to be strong before you can move up and build up and keep going and going. So, I have my own hierarchy of needs. It's hierarchy of your health needs. It starts with your mental health. This is the bottom, your foundation. Without this, there's nothing. It doesn't matter if you are the most fit person in the world. You could be chiseled like Atlas and you could have billions of dollars. But if your head ain't right and you're not good upstairs, you have nothing. If waking up is hard and getting out of bed and going and doing and acting and just being is difficult, you have nothing. After that comes physical. You could be the happiest person in the world, but if you cannot physically do what is required of you to do to just get through the day, to do your job, to do what you love, then you're not gonna end up doing anything. And that's because you're physically not able to. So you need to make sure that your physical health is taken care of, like your mental health. And then once your mental health and your physical health are good and strong, they feed off of each other. They become better and stronger. When you're happier, you are more competent at everything that you do. You're more successful at everything you do. You are driven to go more, do more, find the excellence within yourself. When your body can handle the stress that your mind that is now stronger is putting on it, you're able to go further, you're able to do more and be more. And because of these two things building off of each other, it's going to flow into the top, into your financial health. And again, that is our goal here at Captain's Coffers. We're going for everything for that financial health and gain. The stuff you don't learn in schools, you're gonna learn right here. We are getting there. I know I just spent 2 episodes talking about things that have nothing to do with finances, but trust me when I say without them, finances will never come. You talk to anybody who is ultimately successful and you're gonna find out that this is where they started. Look at people like Mark Cuban. He's one of the happiest guys in the world. He's not The Rock. He doesn't have a nice chiseled body there, he's huge, but guess what? He still exercises on a daily basis because he needs to. And he's got all the money in the world. The guy is loaded beyond loaded. They all take care of their mental health, they all take care of their physical health, and in return, they get financially rewarded as well. You need to take care of these, build these habits. Having these better habits, mental health, physical health, they lead to better financial health, financial habits. And then what you're going to do is you're gonna start learning that when the money comes in, it's gonna stay in. So you're not gonna necessarily spend it on a lot of things you don't need. You're gonna start building great financial habits. So if there's something that you really like, but you don't really need, you're not necessarily gonna go with it. You're gonna hold on to that money. You're gonna make smarter decisions. You're gonna put it in places where it's gonna help develop over time. And then your financial health and your financial habits are going to grow and sustain themselves. And then we've hit all 3 points in the pyramid: mental health, physical health, financial health, and then they all build off of each other. And you'll see once the nest egg starts to roll and grow, all those little things that you had wanted, that you skipped out on while you were younger, because you are making these smarter decisions now, because you have the right mindset, you have the right habits, you are doing and working towards these ultimate bigger goals, you're going to be able to get all of those smaller things that you thought you missed out on. You didn't miss out on it. You just took the opportunity to make the right decision, to make the right habit, build for a bigger future, and then you put all of that into the best spot possible, and it's going to end up driving a stronger happiness for you. Trust me when I say this is a method that will work, I promise you. If you're new here, thanks for coming by. If you've been here before and you're watching again, hey, love to have you around. Everybody, this is Captain's Coffers. Welcome to the crew.